good shot. Oh my!
You can celebrate Georgetown! The Georgetown Raiders are Buckland Cup champions!
The Trenton Golden Hawks, the R.W. Cup champions, are going to Coburn.
Back to Minerva. Shot scores! And the Coburn Cougars are the Royal Bank Cup champions!
Evans bumping, they score! Frank Poche, the game winner, and the Buckland Cup winner!
Hold on to your hats. The playoffs have arrived. 8 first-round series kicked off across the league last week, and we've got highlights from every single one of them. More coming up in just a moment. This is the OJ Today. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Coming up today, tons of playoff highlights as the postseason, as we mentioned, is now in full swing. I'll also have a special guest join me via Skype. Tim Bates, the director of photography for OJHL Images, is going to fill us in on what exactly OJ Images is. And we'll take a look at some of the stunning pictures they've taken over the course of the season. But first, game highlights. And as a playoff opener goes, it's going to be pretty tough to top what happened last Thursday in Newmarket. The Hurricanes hosted the Aurora Tigers in Game 1. And the game went just a bit long. Now, we've seen contests that go to overtime, double OT, and heck, even triple. This one, however, took it one step further. OJ Highlights now, brought to you by Hilton Hotels. Hilton, the official hotel of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. Aurora entered the playoffs on a real low, having lost 16 of 20, but it is the Tigers that draw first blood. Jacob Ball. Puck takes a weird deflection past Mitchell Weeks there. Aurora takes the 1-0 lead. The Canes respond on the power play, though. Claudio De Gasperis tip out front off the Sheldon Nolan point shot, and it was 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. Just a single goal in the second frame. DeMello Smith plants himself out front, totally uncovered. Canes up 2-1 after 40. Third frame now, just a $1.35 in. Tyler Davis floats one past Weeks. Looks like it takes a redirection off the stick of Domenico De La Savita. This baby was going to overtime. We pick it up in the third. Yes, that's right, third OT. Canes think they've got the winner. Adam Trotman out front knocks it past Luca Durante, but great camera work here by Steve Mitchell of Genmark Media. Watch his right foot, boots it into the back of the net. The refs confer and come up with the right call. No goal. So they were headed to a fourth overtime where it finally gets decided.
Savita over to Smith. He has a goal in this one. Smith scores! It's all over! Smith, his second of the game, wins it in the fourth overtime for the Newmarket Hurricanes.
After 138 minutes of hockey, what a game. Junior Canadians and North York in Game 1. This was a shocker. Late in the first, Paul Violo rips it past Jet Alexander. 1-0 for the JRCs. Skip ahead to the third now. The Rangers getting physical. Fedor Rudikov laying the rude smackdown on Matthew Falls, but the JRCs hitting them where it really counted on the score sheet. David Sherman, nice rush. Dustin Hutton to finish. 2-0 JRCs, and then Costa Manikis will add the empty netter right there, and it's a huge Game 1 upset as the Canadians shut out the Rangers 3-0 on the road. Georgetown won the Northwest crossover game for the right to face Markham. This was Game 1, 9:58 in. Brian Smith breaks the ice with the point shot. Power play goal, 1-0 for the Royals. Second stanza. Nice passing by Markham here. 2-on-1. Matt Hayemi to Nick Davis. Booyah. 2-0 for the Royals. It stayed that way until the final frame where Markham adds one more for insurance purposes. Zach Sirota will pull the trigger quickly. Beats Carson Poulin. 3-0 Markham as they took a 1-0 lead over Georgetown in the North Division semifinal. Okay, a battle of two evenly matched teams in the South, the Patriots and the Buzzers. First period, St. Mike's up 1-0 when this happens. Zach Lawrence, absolute beauty, tying it up at 1 apiece. And then it's Jackson Alexiev with the gorgeous feed for Alex Domovsky. The twine bulges 2-1 Patriots at the break. Second frame was all St. Mike's, though. Colton Trumbull, 34 goals in 34 regular season games. He continues his smoking hot play, and it's tied up 2-2. 10 minutes later, Cam Searles to Ayrton Martino, top shelf. What a snipe. Buzzers back on top. 3-2, final stanza. The double blue keep their foot on the accelerator. Trumbull to Searles, his backhander finding daylight, and El Capitan makes it 4-2 St. Mike's. With 5 minutes left, Spencer Smith puts it past a completely screened Mario Pescia. He saw nothing. That made it 5-2 for the Buzzers. The squads would trade goals after that. St. Mike's taking it by a 6-3 count to even up their best-of-7 series at 1 apiece. Okay, some OJ hardware was handed out, and Jet Alexander has captured the league's top goaltender award. Now, that is representative of the goalie with the league's best goals against average, which for Jet was a minuscule 1.67 to go along with a save percentage of .945. It has been a crazy year for Alexander, who was named the Cool Goaltender of the Month for October, as well as the CJHL's first star nationally that month. Okay, OJ Trivia brought to you by Cool Sports, the official apparel provider to the OJHL. And this week's question is, who won last year's OJHL Top Goaltender Award? Now, not the Goalie of the Year award, that's different altogether, but who won last year's Top Goaltender Award? First correct answer wins a cool prize pack. This segment of the OJ Today is brought to you by Cliff Bar. Cliff Bar, the official energy bar of the OJHL. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today. The Cobourg Cougars ended up clinching first place in the East this season, but the division was undoubtedly the group of death. All 4 playoff teams could be considered contenders to take home the Buckland Cup this season. And speaking of the Buckland, last season's champs from Wellington finished as the 4th seed out east, setting up a tantalizing first-round matchup against the aforementioned Cougars. It's unfortunate that one of these teams will have to go out in the first round. Both excellent squads, and it was the 4th-seeded Dukes taking it to the Cougars. 5:05 in, Dylan Massey making it 1-0 for Wellington. 5.5 minutes later, Ben Woodhouse, what a rush, slicing and dicing the Cougars. Rips it past Dershan Stewart to make it 2-0 for the Dukes. Just a minute and a half after that, Andrew Rinaldi to Frank Vitucci. 3 goals on 8 shots for Wellington in the first frame. Ouch. Cobourg gave itself some hope in the second, however. Logan Bateman makes the initial stop. Jamie Engelbert pumps home the rebound to cut the deficit to 3-1. Third frame, they claw even closer. Duke's getting a bit sloppy here, and finally it pops to Colton Cianci. He goes top shelf, and suddenly it was just a 1-goal game. But Wellington shuts them down from that point on. Daniel Panetta will get credit for the empty net goal here to make it a 4-2 lead, and the Dukes would add one more to make it 5-2. No question, the Cougars have their hands full with this experienced Wellington squad as they drop the opener 5-2. Speaking of having their hands full, this was certainly the case with Brampton taking on Oakville. 2:12 into the second, Oakville drawing first blood. Peyton Reeves has the shot deflect off him out front. 1-0 Oakville. 2 minutes later, another weird one. Callum Jones shoots it, and somehow it dribbles past Travis Smith. Brampton gets one back late, so 2-1 Blades after 40. Oakville really turns it on in the third, though. First, it's Jack Ricketts with the backhander that sneaks by Smith. 3-1 Blades, and 50 seconds later, Nicholas Aromatario with the seeing eye slapper from the point, and it goes 4-1 Oakville. And then on the power play, Garrett Pike tattoos that offering past Smith to make it 5-1 Blades. It ended up 6-1 as Oakville takes a 1-0 series lead on Brampton. Okay, second-seeded Buffalo hosting third-seed Burlington out west. The series was tied 1-1 heading into this one. Cougars hit first. Evan Benwell hanging out front. He pounds it home, and it's 1-0 for the visitors. Second frame, all Sabres though. Declan McDonald punches it past Daniel Davidson to knock it up at 1 apiece. And then late in the period, Buffalo with the 2-man advantage, and they execute to perfection. Matthew Novo hits the back of the net to give the Sabres the lead, and there would be no tallies for the rest of the contest as Buffalo holds off the Cougars to take a 2-1 series lead up to that point. Well, the biggest first game shocker in the playoffs this year undoubtedly occurred in the North York Junior Canadian Series. Jeff Angelidis and his boys struggled versus the Rangers in the regular season, dropping 6 of 7 games against the 6th-ranked team in all of Canada. But they call the playoffs the second season for a reason. The slate is wiped completely clean, and the JRCs stunned North York 3-0 in the opener. So the Rangers were looking to get back on track in Game 2. The JRCs certainly turned a few heads with their Game 1 triumph, but the Rangers turned the tables in this one. Austin Brimmer bats it out of midair right there, and it's 1-zip NYR. After 20, second frame, Christian Mattiacci getting into all kinds of trouble behind his net. Serves it up on a platter. Daniil Kuzmin banks it in. And it was 2-0 for the Rangers. Final 20, I don't think Mattiacci saw any of this one. Harrison Rees with a point shot. 3-zip for North York. They would add another one late in the third to make it a 4-0 final and even the series up at 1 apiece. Okay, Game 2 between the Royals and the Raiders went Saturday night in Georgetown. Much better effort from G-Town in this one. Mitchell Hewitson on the doorstep. He cleans up the garbage. 1-zip Raiders in the second period. The Royals would hit back, however. Nick Davis with a backhander. Nathan Torkia can't find it. Zach Sirota does, though. And he knots it off at 1 apiece. The Raiders would retake the lead, though. First, it's Andrew Horsley on the left side. A bit of a bad angle he beats Andrew Albano from. And G-Town was up 2-1. And then Albano makes the stop, but kicks it right to Matt McJanet. Big Mac attack. And it was 3-1. For the home squad. Third period was tense. The point shot comes in here. Nick Junta hanging at the side of the net. Tips it past Torkia to cut it to 3-2. But the Royals would draw no closer as Georgetown evens up the series at 1 game apiece. Okay, OJ Commitments brought to you by Jostens, the official ring and awards provider to the OJHL. Andrew Rinaldi. Boy, what a season this guy's had for the Wellington Dukes, and he's been awarded for it as Rinaldi has signed a scholarship with NCAA Division I RIT University to begin play in the fall. Now, Rinaldi led the Dukes in regular season scoring with 63 points in just 48 games. He is going to be a huge addition to the Tigers roster. Way to go, Andrew. Cole O'Hara, the 16-year-old forward for the North York Rangers, is headed to Hockey East powerhouse UMass. Now, O'Hara has stood out on a veteran-laden Rangers squad this season, racking up 42 points in 53 games. The graduate of the Toronto Junior Canadians AAA program is in his rookie year with NYR and has looked like a seasoned vet out there. Congrats, Cole, on your Scully. And for our alumni update, just call him the Man of Steel. Former Aurora Tiger Eric Williams, now with the Northeastern Huskies of the NCAA, just set the all-time school record with his 150th straight game played. Williams has had a storied career for the Huskies. He's been rock solid on the blue line, was named team captain this year, and Eric played 2 seasons with Aurora earlier this decade. He was named CJHL top defenseman in 2015. This week's OJ interview brought to you by Barnburner Hockey. Barnburner, official partner of the OJHL Game of the Week and the OJ Today. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today. And as promised, joining me now via Skype is the man behind OJHL Images, Director of Photography, Tim Bates. And Tim, thanks so much for joining me. First time we've managed to get you on the show this year.
Thanks very much for having me, Alex. I always love coming on the show.
Well, you guys do great work, man. And let's start with the basics. For those who may not know about exactly what it is, fill us in on OJHL Images.
So OJHL Images is the official photographer for the Ontario Junior Hockey League, as well as the Ontario Hockey Association special events. But what we're responsible for is covering the OJHL from Kingston to Buffalo with a professional photography system. And We cover it with about 22 photographers. So we not only turn around and capture all the game action imagery, but we also are responsible for the distribution of those images to media sources worldwide.
And it's hard work. It's obviously a lot of fun, but I've got some great footage of you guys I'm going to show now behind the scenes at the Governor Showcase back in September, which really kicks off the OJHL season, and that's your first big event of the year too, isn't it?
It is. It's a monumentous event in a number of ways because of every National Hockey League team and NCAA team is there, as well as a host of other universities across the country and in the United States. So we not only turn around and look after shooting every single team in one particular venue, but we also are responsible for shooting every headshot of every single player in our league, coach, staff, manager, trainer, etc. So it's a monumentous job, but it's certainly a labor of love, but it is certainly a really big job at that particular point in time of year.
Yeah, and once again this season, Trenton was the host of the annual Eastern Canada Cup, which is essential for choosing players, of course, for Team Canada East at the World Junior A Challenge. And you got some great shots again this year, didn't you?
Yeah, the Eastern Canada Cup, I mean, it's an amazing venue. There's probably no other arena like the hangar in Trenton. The atmosphere, the fan base, the community support is absolutely incredible. It's quite the venue, and yeah, the Eastern Canada Cup provides us an opportunity to chronicle not only our elite athletes from the league, but cross-sectional, across different leagues. So it's a great opportunity to capture some amazing imagery for sure.
Now, the Duncan Memorial is a bit of an older rink. How do you find shooting in that rink as compared to one of the newer ones?
It may be one of the older venues, certainly in our league, but the administrative staff of the arena and the support they get from the community made it state of the art for us. The internet uploading speeds, for example, that's been all rewired. They have all brand new lighting, so it is a fantastic venue and it's consistent lighting, which makes our lives a heck of a lot easier shooting, covering the games for sure. It's
a tight place to shoot, isn't it? Fans are right on top of you in that rink. Some of my favorite shots are the off-ice stuff that you get that really sort of capture the moment, and some of the pics you guys modify as well. Some really cool effects to give them a different look. We're going to show some of those right now. Talk about what we're seeing here and what effects you guys actually use.
Yeah, one of the things that we try to keep it as pure as we can as far as photography, but we like to give our photographers an opportunity to explore their creative side a little bit. So we do some techniques called HDR, and it's high definition resolution. We add on some filters, which are kind of Nike filters or commercially available filters, and what it does is basically allows the image to pop a little bit, and it's a chance to show the athlete in a different light or get in behind the scenes where people who don't normally have access to. And certainly something that gives our photographers an opportunity to showcase some of their creative sides and talents.
I like the ones that look like a painting almost, the way it's been done. It's really beautiful stuff. And then finally, with all the games OJHL Images does in a single season, thousands of pictures you guys take. And I asked you to pick a few of your favorites. So we're going to put them up now. And first one, and I love this one. You can give us honestly about 30 seconds on each picture to just take us through it. This is Jack Watson, tremendous young goalie for St. Mike's. I just love this picture. It's eerie, it's dark. I asked him, I said, oh, is that just by chance that you guys got lucky with the lighting on that? And Tim looked at me and said, no, skill. That was all skill behind the scenes. But this Jack Watson one is really cool, man.
Yeah, it's an excellent photograph, and it's actually shot at the Governor Showcase in Buffalo. He was entering the kind of causeway or walkway from the dressing room to the ice, and the lighting was, it's kind of mixed in that particular point. There's a combination of some really strong lighting and some dark lighting, and he just came out of the shadows, so it added a lot to the ambiance of the picture. It's a spectacular photograph of the goaltender just making his way. It shows the intensity of what he's about to do and enter the ice surface, so it's a great shot.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just a standard shot, but I love it. The Markham Royals with the young fan. Great to get these candid moments, isn't it?
It is, and you know what? I consistently say and talk about our players and interaction they have with our photographers, and as well as the way they embrace the fans. And this is just a great shot of showing a young fan, really enamored with the players, and the players taking that extra a couple of minutes to say hello to the fans and recognizing them. And that's what it's all about, is putting those people in the stands and interacting with the fans for a great product that they present on this.
This is one of the best action shots. Andrew Albano taking a shot. Now, you explained to me, he had just taken one off the mask. You see his mask coming off. That puck right in front of him there, that's a shot on the way back in, which explains why his eyes are the size of saucer plates there.
Yeah, it's an incredible shot. If you take a look at the top of his head, you can see the straps of the mask busting, which, we never like to obviously see happen to our goaltenders, but it's a spectacular shot. I believe Andy Corno shot that picture in Markham. Just a phenomenal, it's by far one of my favorite pictures all year. But it just captures, with these goaltenders, and we're always consistently amazed at their athleticism. And this is just a shot, probably a worst case scenario for a goalie other than the puck going in the net.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was really lucky on that play as well, and we're glad he turned out well, but it's a spectacular shot.
He gets to feel what Johnny Bauer went through back in the day, which never happens anymore, so without the face mask and the helmet. But Joey Maziarz, give me about 15 seconds. We're running out of time here. One of the top defensemen in the OJ this year, Eye of the Tiger, just a really nice pick. Yeah,
again, this is a great shot. Shot through North York with a photo hole by Ray McEloney, I believe, took that picture. It's an outstanding shot, and it just basically shows, the players coming by the bench. He's looking straight up ice at us, and it's just an opportunity to kind of chronicle that candid moment in a game where players interacting with his bench.
Awesome. I was going to look at more, but we're out of time. But listen, if people want to find out more, and also they can purchase your photographs, oghlimages.photoshelter.com, correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. Tim, thanks so much, man. I always love running into the rinks. It's great you can come on the show and do this. You guys do such great work. Thanks a lot. I'll see you out there in the playoffs.
Thanks very much, Alex, for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
This segment of the OJ Today is brought to you by Troy Hockey Apparel. Troy, the official jersey of the OJHL. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today. Well, as we already touched on earlier, the East Division has been ridiculously tough this season. While Cobourg and Wellington are slugging it out in one series, the Trenton-Whitby matchup is just as intriguing. Two squads that spent time in first place out east throughout the year before settling for second and third spot, respectively. This was a highly anticipated series between two elite squads. Trenton took the opener, so Whitby was looking to even things up in Game 2. It's been quite the year for Whitby, who missed the playoffs entirely last season. They hit first in this one. Derek McVeigh snipes it top shelf, and the former Georgetown Raider makes it 1-0 for the Fury. The Hawks hit back, though. Gorgeous play here. Stephen Elliott does all the heavy lifting. Tiger McDonald, the big finish, and all tied up 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. No scoring again until the third frame. Carson Gallagher on the power play, ripping it past Benjamin Allaire-Robitaille. Whitby in the lead up 2-1, but late in the period, McDonald grabs his second of the game to send this baby to overtime, where it's Noah Dallo playing the role of hero from the side of the net, pokes it in to give Whitby the dramatic 3-2 OT win, as the Fury claw back in the series to make it one game apiece with the Golden Hawks at that point. Okay, the Dukes and the Cougars, Cobourg, even things up in the series by taking Game 2. Game 3, though, all Dukes. First period, Andrew Rinaldi, future RIT Tiger, making it 1-0 Wellington. The Dukes just continue to pound them in the second. Keenan Eddy, 5-hole on Dershan Stewart, 2-0 for Wellington. And then midway point of the period, Dukes on the power play. Quinn Hanna with the point shot. In it goes. Wellington stretching its lead to 3. Can they make it 4? You bet. Tim Fallowfield, too much time and space. The twine bulges, 4-0 Dukes of Wellington. Third stanza, Cobourg finally breaks the goose egg. Deaglan Small up top past Logan Bateman. The Dukes would respond with 3 more tallies after that, though. What the heck was going on? Wellington smoking the number 1 East seed Cobourg. After going 4 overtimes in Game 1, Newmarket and Aurora had to play the very next night in Game 2. Just 1 goal scored in the entire contest. It's Tyler Davis with the one-timer out front. Beauty, and that was it. Thankfully, no overtime on this night. The Tigers needed that in the worst way. They knot up the series at 1 apiece. Okay, Brampton and Oakville resumed pleasantries in Game 2 of the series. Admirals looking to even things up. Easier said than done against the Blades. 10-22 win. Josh Nixon ripping it past Matthew Lukic, 1-0. Just a minute and a half later, Admirals can't clear it. Shot on goal will be tipped by Ryan O'Hara. And it's 2-0 for the Blades. Still in the first, 2-on-1 here. Jack Ricketts makes no mistake. 3-0 for Oakville. Just too many weapons on this Oakville team, seriously. As they hammer Brampton in Game 2. Taking it by a 5-1 count. Okay, one more for you. After losing Game 1, the Rangers had won 3 straight against the Canadians. They could close it out on Wednesday with a win. Ashton Stocky gets it going, 5:05 in, blasting it past Christian Mattiacci. 1-0 Rangers. The JRCs would even it up, though. Paul Vaiolo with the tip out front and power play marker. Even Steven, all tied up at 1 apiece. The tie didn't last long, though. Ross Krieger pokes it out of the air here, right at the side of the net. Nicely done. Pats the Rangers back on top. They would never relinquish the lead again. Second frame was all North York. First, it's Brandon Yeamans taking the nice feed from Cole O'Hara, and 3-1 for Rangers. Beautiful feed on that play. And then some sweet passing here as well as they go tic-tac-toe. Jonathan Hampton pokes it past Mattiacci to make it 4-1. They would cruise the rest of the way. 6-2 final as they knock off a game but overmatched Canadian squad. 4-1 to advance to the second round. Okay, a reminder, the third annual OJHL Combine is fast approaching. Registration is now open. It runs April 4th through the 7th at the Campus Ice Center in Oshawa. And the purpose of the Combine is to provide players an opportunity to showcase their skills to all 22 OJHL clubs. Each player is guaranteed 3 games with real-time scoring, and the event is open to registration for players born in 2001 through 2004. Last year saw numerous players go on to sign with OJHL clubs as either full-time or affiliate players. OJHLcombines.ca for more info. The Chaos Top 5 brought to you by Chaos Hats, the official hat provider to the OJHL. Number 5, Fedor Rudikov of North York lowers the boom on Matthew Falls of the Canadians with the gorgeous open ice hit. Number 4, Aurora versus Newmarket. Jack Varga, beautiful feedback for Tyler Damas, the game winner on Friday night. Number 3, Wellington. Ben Woodhouse winds it up and goes for a skate, slicing and dicing Coburg before ripping it home. Beautiful. Part of a big Dukes win on that night. Number 2, Trenton against Whitby. Stephen Elliott leaves 2 players in his wake before feeding Tiger McDonald, who provides the big finish for the Jayhawks, unfortunately in a losing cause that night. And number 1, Zach Lawrence of the Patriots against St. Mike's, doing it all himself, beating 2 players before sliding it past the keeper. And look at the footwork too with the puck. Gorgeous. And then just too strong. Waltzes in, puts it into the back of the net. Sublime goal by Zach. And that is our Chaos Play of the Week. And that's all the time we've got for today. Just remember, though, to keep up to date with the league throughout the playoffs, you can always head to ojhl.ca. And, of course, for all of your social media options, right there for you to explore as well. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.